Do it.
Hey guys.
Welt.
I have good idea for open that is cold. Chili Willy. Burr.
It's so hard to do it well.
I just got back inside from smoking a Marlboro cigarette and drinking a Bud Light. No, so I was this last week. I was in Dresden.
Oh yeah,
with my family. It was very nice.
Yep.
Had a lovely time.
Did you meet some Nazis?
Oh my God.
Sorry, I didn't want to
don't get me started.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. This has to do with the story. So
friend.
Friend of the pod, Pauli from Hölle Hölle Hölle, like showed my mom, my sister, and me around their neck of the woods, Dresden. Lovely, really pretty city. Not really much there, but I get it. It's nice. It's very cheap for like if you live there to like pay rent. But oh my God, they destroy you if you're a tourist.
Yeah. That makes money somehow.
Yeah, and so Pauli took us to like a restaurant. We went to go eat, and Pauli and I were just kind of riffing about how silly Germany is, and we were talking about like German TV, and I was saying in the sense of like, oh yeah, like I like in the hotel I was I don't get to watch German television that often.
Sure.
Because, I don't like have cable.
Yeah. Hotel TV is a special thing.
Hotel TV is a special thing, as you'll obviously probably say things about the Netherlands when you were there.
Yes.
But it was very funny I was I don't get to watch German cable TV that often. All right, which means like
it's the next level.
RTL, Vox, God tier television, like things like Shopping Queen and whatnot.
Hell yeah.
But one of my favorite shows, which I think we've probably mentioned on the show, is Höhle der Löwen, which is the German version of Shark Tank.
Yeah.
Oh,
right?
okay. What's the translate as?
Like the Lion's Den.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
And so I was telling my parents and Pauli in the sense that then I saw one of the most like German inventions like brought forth, that it was like, oh, you're like the Klobrüste, Klobürste.
The what?
Yeah, the toilet tits. No, the toilet brush.
Yeah.
And it was these like people who like, it was this like German Karen and her like young hot boyfriend. By hot, I mean like it was just like a young guy with a beard, which is like one type of a German guy.
Yep.
And they made they made an invention that was like, she was like, oh, like our relationship, like we at the beginning of our relationship there was something that was so disgusting, this and that, we had to take care of it, which was like the toilet brush dripping when they were like, when you pull it out of the holder. And so they made an invention that then like sucks up the water like a diaper, Yeah, you put it at the bottom and this and that. But the thing that it doesn't do is it doesn't like deal with any of like the shit, like literal shit that it like collects on the brush.
I hate this.
And exactly every one of the lions, as they're called, the Löwen, was like, yeah, it's cool that it like sucks up the stuff, but it's like it is absolutely disgusting that I have to like reach my hand in there to grab it out to go throw this thing out. They're like, no, we're not going to invest in this, and it's disgusting. And they were like, they were so distraught. But so I mentioned
that fixed our relationship. It could fix Germany.
Yeah, and so I was mentioning this, just like this is like one of the examples, and Pauli was explaining like Wetten das to my mom and sister and whatnot.
Oh, fun. Yeah.
And so we're just talking about just like Germany's just like an insane country, and we're eating dinner, this and that, and then the entire time there's this like guy by himself in the restaurant just staring at us.
Oh, fun!
What?
Yeah, just staring, because he was like eavesdropping in our conversation. And the thing that I think a lot of people don't realize
that's so Dresden.
Yeah, the thing I think people don't realize about East Germans is that they will like let you know like their like opinion about something like without you asking for it, and they'll just like come into your conversation. No. In East Germany though, it's far more common that people just like randomly come and start talking to you. And Pauli was very much explaining this to my family of like, oh yeah, like this'll like Vessies won't do this as much. Where like a person in like
Vessies won't do this.
Yeah, but
why isn't there a stand-up guy that's like Vessies walk like this?
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much.
But us
yeah,
Aussies, we walk like this.
That's yours, not mine. So like this guy comes over and he's all like, in like, he's like, oh, not all Germans are stupid. I'm not stupid. I'm not vaccinated. Ciao.
Hell yeah. Hell
And
yeah.
he was like, but I don't know if he was trying to be. Yeah, exactly.
Dresdner, Montagsmärsche.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and it was just so funny because then Pauli was just like, yeah, like, welcome to Dresden.
This is what I was just talking about.
Yeah. But it was just the fact that then to like let us know that he's like, oh, I'm not one of these. He's like, I don't watch TV. I'm not one of the dumb Germans. We're not all this way. I'm not vaccinated. And I was like, I wanted to like go up and just be like, yeah, woo! But not for the reason that then he thought that I was like cheering him on or anything.
Yeah.
Just simply in the sense that I appreciated.
Thank you for illustrating my point.
Exactly.
No, not even illustrating my point, but just like, thank you for giving me this like East German experience of like,
The real Dresden experience.
Do you think he does that for all the tourists?
They just put a weird like guy somewhere in a cafe.
He's paid by the city government.
Yes, and he's gonna listen to you, what you're talking about. And if you say anything wrong about
No, if you just say anything, he'll work at it. Like, okay, so if you were talking about like, oh man, the trains don't work or whatever, like they're always delayed, he would run up and say,
the trains used to work.
he wouldn't tailor it that much. It would literally just be opposite of what you said back to you. So like, oh yeah, the train came on time for me because I'm not vaccinated.
because I'm not vaccinated.
And that's always the closing line.
Yeah. Oh, and then my family got like the true Deutschland experience of 2-hour Verspätung with the Deutsche Bahn.
Nice. What happened? Was it?
I think there was like construction on the line.
Construction on the line.
Yeah.
Of course.
Classic.
But shout out to Pauli. Thank you for showing me around Dresden and my family. You are an absolute angel. And I don't know if you're going to listen to this or not, but yeah, it was an absolute blast. Glad I have friends because of the podcast.
Glad I have friends.
Yeah. So
because that guy,
because I'm not vaccinated.
Yeah, no, everyone on the podcast is vaccinated.
Yes, yeah.
But yeah, it was also the amount of Nazis in Dresden too is like they're everywhere, and I was just like, we were like walking about, and I was like, oh my god, like I was telling Pauli, I'm like, I'm so amazed by the fact of not just there's like Nazis everywhere, but there's like how many young Nazis?
Young Nazis.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's very weird to see like bands of like youth in like shirts that are very clearly like Nazi fight groups and shit like that, and they have like full on tattoos, and they're like 25.
Yeah.
If they're young, you can still re-educate them. Just get them together.
The old ones.
Yeah, the old ones are lost. Sorry.
Yeah, they're not vaccinated.
It's just like it gets worse with the older you get.
Yeah. But oh, and the funniest thing was too is that we were like going to the train to leave, and then it's a very funny thing to me too. It's also just the thing that's so funny to me is how Nazis make this their entire personality. Like everything that they wear on their body is like a Nazi symbol.
Yeah.
So this one guy had like a shirt that
they're
had
like scene kids.
Yeah, pretty much. It like really it gives off that vibe.
Neo-Nazi scene kid.
I'm a scene queen brackets bad.
Yeah, this guy gets onto the train with like a shirt that has like Thor on it that says like, you know, it says like whatever Viking mentality or whatever on it or some bullshit. And then it has like the 3 triangle, you know, thing on his backpack. And like a bunch of, you know,
the Fox Triforce.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like all these like wink, wink, nod symbols
wink.
on like all of this shit.
I can't wink, so I close both of my eyes.
But then it has like a JBL speaker just blasting the like shittiest electronic music you've ever heard. And I just turned to my sister. I'm like, you know what? Nazis used to have class.
Well, I think this is.
Where's my marsh music? Where's my...
I don't like Nazism. Always bad, of course, but it's at least like. You know, like the Nazis of the 30s were all like, no, like the pure German culture of like
Where's
Wagner and
yeah,
shit like that. Now it's just like, oh yeah, me and my boys chill at like Hauptbahnhof and just like play GABA, but we're just like really racist and we beat up migrants. It's like it's so insane to me, you know. I mean, I understand, of course, that there is like a part of it that does come from how garbage the East isn't garbage in the sense of that it's like, you know, like a shithole, but I mean just like how they were treated at like during the Wende and stuff.
We will talk about that
absolutely
later.
And I understand that there is like a reaction to that, of course, but it's just like guys this sucks. Like, it's so lame.
No, but as I said, like when you're young, you can still get converted into a CSU member.
Yeah. There's a path forward.
Well,
you could be the first CSU politician in Saxony.
Exactly.
Yeah, but regardless, Dresden, a very lovely city, and to be fair as well, there was also like, I mean, it was pretty clear too that there's a lot of like left wing shit there too.
Oh yeah,
you
the
know?
city, yeah,
yeah. I don't want to like brush it off as being like, oh, this is Nazi
Dresden
town.
is not only Nazi.
No. Yeah, there was very clear. There was like a
it's
big.
mostly that one guy who yells.
Yeah, there was a big what seemed to be like a lefty Straßenfest, like a street fest going on of like multicultural Straßenfest thing,
nice.
And a lot of like cool groups where like a lot of like nice groups seem like that were there that do stuff with like migrant politics and stuff like that. So it was nice to see that like juxtaposition of like Nazi Benda.
And they were playing good music from
they're playing
JBL boxes.
Yeah, no. There was like a Cuban band playing. It rocked.
amazing,
Yeah.
Oh right. It's not just the Gabber music, but the audio comes in being like not racist. Hey. Welcome to your weekly corner Späti. It is me, Ciarán, and I'm joined by Julia.
Hello.
And Nick.
Hey.
And we're here doing, I guess, holiday update chat. Yeah. I was in the Netherlands, and that was a work trip. So all I really have to add is that there was a toilet in the bathroom in my hotel room. There was a TV. I keep saying there was a toilet.
Yeah, I was about to say, I hope there was a toilet in the bathroom.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. There was a toilet in the bathroom. I haven't lied yet, but there was a TV in the bathroom as well.
Yes, and
So,
where was that TV?
It was behind a mirror.
Oh my god!
And
That's the hot new thing.
that is apparently the whole room. So what happened is I'm very tired after my train to the Netherlands. It was a fine train. It was delayed by 15 minutes, but it made up the time on the way. So it was all good.
Woo, woo.
Indeed.
Trains.
But then very tired, get into my hotel room, just kind of like go into the bathroom, use it, come out to check out the rest of my room, and like, oh, the whole room is controlled by an iPad. Because it's just like tell you like you can turn off the lights in this iPad, it's built into the wall beside the bed, blah blah blah.
What if you lose that iPad? Can't do anything.
Built into the wall. The room is null and void now. There's a liminal space no one can be in.
So the room's like a Tesla.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. The amount of toddlers that room can kill. But but the thing, as soon as I got in, the thing that I noticed when I looked at the iPad was just like, turn on TV. And I was like, yeah, turn on TV bathroom. What? What the fuck did you just say? So I immediately press on button. There is a delay. There's like a delay from when you can control it to when you like, I'm browsing all the channels. There's some like Dutch TV stations, and then I see Euro News. And then I just have a great time taking a shit, learning about like Prigozhin's secret funeral or whatever the fuck. Secret funeral.
Putin didn't come.
Yeah, it's a shame.
It's a shame.
Yeah,
they were friends.
They were.
Yeah.
He was there when he died.
Allegedly.
All right, but today our main topic is Germany. Why is it like that? Speaking of which,
country.
Yeah. Speaking of which, my train was also delayed by 2 hours on my way out of the Netherlands.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
And you know why? It's because
the sun.
The German staff weren't ready at the border to take over from the Dutch staff.
Oh, okay.
So we were waiting for them.
You know what? There's always that cartoon of the German laying
on time. What?
Oh, I'm just thinking of the. I'm waiting for the racist cartoon of the Germans, just like brown, laying on the beach with their hot, smoking smokestack girlfriend.
Yeah, so lazy.
Yeah, Germany is actually Italy. Like Germans with their big curly mustaches.
Amazing things are happening in the Netherlands. We're inventing racism towards the Germans.
Yes,
that already exists. Well, not racism. They just don't like them.
Yeah.
It's vice versa.
Yeah.
Mutual contempt.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Netherlands is weird. It's still just. It very much is. Britain and Germany had a baby. Because it is just a language that sounds very close to German, but they're talking about like British brands that aren't available in Germany. Yeah, like there was like a W.H. Smith there, and God, what else? Quick Fit. Yeah, I don't have Quick Fit in Germany. Anyway, it was strange, but Now,
while you were dressed in head to toe Camp David.
I'm one of you. Oh, I did see, what was it called? It was in Amsterdam Hauptbahnhof. I think it was called like American 100% or something. It was a closed shop.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Yeah, it was very much like the German. It was the Dutch
like
Camp David. Yeah.
One was before we continue. A small little Camp David caveat.
Oh yeah.
Camp David's main person who does their like I guess it's advertising because they just like give him clothes is Dieter Bohlen. Do you know who he is? He is like on Germany. Deutschland sucht den Superstar. So it's like
he used to be a member of Modern Talking. You know Modern Talking.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're my heart. You're my soul.
We could cut the audio of that song in here, but no. Julius
That's better. Yeah.
That's better. Yeah. Dieter Bohlen is. Yeah. How would you describe him? He's very German. Let's say it like that. And he produces hits, like German hits. Well, not anymore. He used to.
Yeah.
Like when Germans still had like even worse taste than now.
He's kind of become like the German Simon Cowell too for like for TV shows.
Yes.
And he is from your neck of the woods.
Yes.
He is from not your neck of the woods.
Yeah.
He's from Ruhrgebiet.
Yeah.
And I found this out actually a while ago, but was reminded of it. He for a long time was a member of the German Communist Party.
What?
Yeah, Dieter Bohlen was a member of the DKP.
What?
Oh.
Yeah, he's like from Essen or whatever.
He's a communist?
Yeah. I don't know if anymore.
Then
but
he got rich and tanned.
Yeah.
Fake tanned.
Germans, when they become tan, just can't become communists anymore.
He only like used to date one type of women.
Oh, fun.
Or like long,
I love those type of
dark
guys.
hair and shit like that. So,
Interesting.
Okay.
Not like a Leonardo DiCaprio situation.
No, not they're all younger, definitely.
Sure.
And he breaks up at some point with them, maybe when they get older.
We need to investigate this.
Maybe there's an age thing, but it always used to be like the same type of woman.
Interesting.
But
Might be called, maybe it's a fetish.
I think just being into dark-haired women is a normal thing.
You make me feel weird.
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Boo, Nick.
But yeah, no, Dieter Bohlen was a communist.
That
Interesting.
is wild.
Maybe secretly still is. We can activate him.
Oh, maybe he tries to mind control people.
No, I don't think so.
or like put propaganda in his songs, like take me tonight, everything is possible. Revolution.
A new world is possible.
A new world is possible.
Yeah, like we need to investigate because like it's DKP, so it's a mixed bag. Like which one is he? Is he like a genuinely good communist, or is he like Putin
bag.
Is doing decolonialism in the Donbass?
Oh, the DKP is like 100% that second one.
Yeah. Well, no, some of them are right.
Some of them are okay.
I could imagine Dieter Bohlen hanging out with Gerhard Schröder and Berlusconi. Rest in peace.
My blood rotation.
Yeah, no, he doesn't smoke weed. He'd be a member of the DKP. They're like really anti-drug.
Speaking of people who lead this country, we have an evil chancellor now.
Yes, we are on the evil timeline now.
Yes.
You couldn't have
This is
picked
upside down world.
Yeah, you couldn't have picked a more Bond villain-esque looking chancellor than Olaf Scholz with like his face ripped up and an eye patch on.
An eye patch to introduce the new budget.
And a terrible one at that.
Yeah, and there's like a picture that's been going around in German media today where he so the budget got passed, or the budget's currently in debates at the Bundestag, as we talked about. I think maybe before we went on to our 1 week vacation, that Messeberg is where they kind of do like, hey, here's the budget, this and that and that. Hooray. We're ruining Germany. And then this was the picture of Olaf Scholz that was going around today.
I just saw it.
Of him like with his hands stretched out, with his eye patch on, addressing the Bundestag. You're more than welcome to take a picture of that.
I am.
I love the caption saying Steuerpirat Scholz.
It's
Tax pirate Scholz.
There's been memes going around, but the thing that I've probably enjoyed the most, the thing that I have found most fascinating about this, is the turn, the complete vibe shift from just putting, like, roughing that guy's face up a bit and putting an eye patch on him. Because if anyone hasn't seen a lot of pictures of Olaf Scholz before, because who cares about him right now? He's like he has such a weird government at the moment where no one cares about them unless they like injure themselves gravely.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. But like before that, he literally looked like the guy from The Simpsons. So it was like, don't worry, Mr. Simpson, we are from the land of chocolate.
Yeah.
he looked so like jovial, like he lived at a cuckoo clock kind of shit. And now like you just put an eye patch in him and it's like, oh.
He's actually evil.
He's evil now.
Yeah, no, now he literally looks like where he's just like like I know I make a million Star Wars references on this podcast. I'm going to do it again.
Hell yeah.
Where he'll just be like standing there in the Bundestag and be like, the First Galactic Empire.
This is how democracy dies. Thundering applause.
With like a man falling when he's jogging.
Yeah, he was jogging and apparently he fell. And that is how he hurt his...
How do you
hurt your eye? Where did he fall on?
Did he fall on like the corner of a curb? That
happened to me.
Really?
Where's
your eye patch?
I needed to get stitches.
Oh shit.
I was balancing on like a little...
You fucking curb stomped yourself?
Yeah.
Shit.
That really... And I was like just 7 years old.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
They didn't give me a cool eye patch.
Yeah, no, that's...
But I had stitches. I did also feel like a tax pirate.
That's all you want, though, when you get injured when you're a kid, is like, give me an eye patch.
Make it easier for companies to start.
All right, so I think that leads to the budget a little bit because the budget is... Oh, geez, sorry, burpee. The budget is fascinating now because one of the only things that I've read about in detail is fucking Christian Lindner taking my goddamn money as representative of kid having on this podcast. I need that €250 a month. I don't need it reduced to whatever, like 168 is what the like back of the napkin math seems to suggest is going to be the new like payment because of all the cuts they've been making.
Oh yeah, the 10 billion euros in cuts that they made.
Gone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the coalition led by the Social Democrats, baby.
It's not like it would be better with Merz.
Well, no, but at least I would like expect the austerity. I mean, like, not that I wouldn't expect the austerity, as like I guess we'll talk about later too with like the Deutschland paket that he's like. Okay, is that what it's called? Oh no, Deutschland Pact. Yeah, even worse.
Yeah. Germans shouldn't be allowed to talk about pacts anymore.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, because the speaking of Social Democrats, because this is the thing that everyone's kind of like talking about, is that this is a new. What is required to get out of this crisis is probably not this budget, but like some people are alluding to doing Vision 2010 again.
Yeah,
the fucking Gerhard Schroeder, where we got Hartz IV from and all that. Mm-hmm, fun.
Which is now cool and called Bürgergeld, so it doesn't seem so it doesn't have a stigma anymore.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, there's actually like a really interesting quote that Amira Muhammad Ali from like Die Linke said, that then kind of pointing out the sense that then that this politic of austerity, that we're currently coming out of an economic crisis. And I don't want to make the parallels to...
it's not looking good in general. Like the industry purchases in July were like way lower than expected. Yeah. So it's not like it's not in any way on the way back up and looking fine and dandy for the German economy.
And it's like, but so Amir Muhammad Ali
on our way to recession
went on to the Bundestag floor yesterday and kind of said in the sense that then like Germany's obsession with like these like Sparpakete that they always do is like literally one of the things that then like led to the rise of the Nazis. Didn't like say that explicitly, but alluded to that. Then it's like Germany with their so it's said that the German pact, which is mostly just like saving and doing austerity to yourselves, has already ruined Germany before, and that the Reichskanzler at the time, Heinrich Böning, should be quite aware. I mean, dead now, but would be quite aware within the sense
Wake him up. We're gonna talk.
of that this type of politics, like in 1930 and 1932, like we kind of all know where it ended up in, and it's like with a party like the AfD currently gaining like 20 to 30% in like polling. I don't think that this is too ridiculous of a statement to make.
No. Fun thing that I did during this week, because I was sick with Keto Plague again. I read a academic paper from largely researchers from University of Bonn, as well as like Sveriges Riksbank or whatever, like the Swedish bank. And basically, it surveyed something like 30 different countries and all found that the rise of the far right in all of them was due to austerity.
Yeah.
Not a surprise.
No, not surprising at all, but like those numbers, that paper is pretty damning.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't even matter into the sense that then the AfD's entire politic internally is just more austerity.
Yeah, of course they would not like change it, or there wouldn't be more public spending. There wouldn't be more money in the pocket of the citizens.
But that nationalism hits, though.
Yeah, exactly. So you can blame other people. Then.
Yeah, I think also the
look over here. I'm like waving. I'm waving the racism. Little keys in front of your hand,
Exactly.
in front of your face.
I hate the racism keys.
Yeah, I hate them.
What doors do those unlock? Oh no.
Yeah, well then like literally like we've talked about this in the show multiple times that the AfD is also like never really changed their tune economically. They're still like very much a liberal, like purely like libertarian economic policy party.
They are definitely benefiting from the fact that they are like they don't have a track record in power. Yeah. So they can pretend that they would do something different. Like they can kind of like, and everyone can kind of like guess because they are the only party. Like Die Linke hasn't been in power either, but like I don't think anyone's going to be convinced that Die Linke either is going to or
that
wants to
happen,
do.
Yeah.
Well, if they're even going to like be around.
Yeah, I mean there's that as well. But yeah, it's really funny because like all of this is happening at the same time as like the IMF is just like begging Germany to get rid of the debt brake, because like
which they got rid of for like 1 year.
They got rid of and they're doing this like extra budgetary spending thing. Like they're doing like they're basically cucking the books so they can get past it to invest in like COVID recovery, and the Russian gas hose is now off. I'm calling it the gas hose.
Germany imported more Russian gas this year, I think, than like ever before. But
we're probably paying way too much for it now.
Well, of course we are.
Because we need a middleman for that.
Yeah. There was like a statistic that came out a few weeks ago that it was like Europe has bought more
gas from Azerbaijan. I don't know what you're talking about.
But like it's probably Turkish gas, right? That's who's like reselling it to us.
No, India.
Is it India? We're doing it through India?
Yeah. India, that's all the
India
way
even
over
said
there.
too, yeah.
That's so fucking...
That's good for the climate, I heard.
Yeah, that's the thing that's just so stupid about all this shit is that then Europe's like, we're going to stop our dependency on Russian gas. And then like I think last quarter it came out Europe's dependency on Russian gas is higher than ever.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I blame that mech. The fucking Bagger 192 or whatever
that uses so much Russian gas.
It uses Russian gas to take up dirt coal.
Yeah.
This country's just like an Ouroboros eating itself. All right, yeah, so that's kind of what's happening there. It was really funny, though, reading the like IMF recommendations. Because, one, it's very funny to read the recommendations from the IMF when it's like towards a European economy and not like an African economy. Yeah. Because the African economy is one that's just like, I'm no longer asking, just like holding a gun.
Yeah, gun to your head, just like,
So do you want to live?
Yeah, do you want to live? Yeah, restructure everything. Yeah, keep restructure. No, you're not deregulating enough.
Look, don't tell anyone. But we have our own Seam Teal 6. We have an IMF Seam Teal 6 we use exclusively in Africa. And then like in Germany, they're just like, could you please maybe...
you big wonderful European economy.
Yeah. But it's asking like the opposite in Europe, which is like the weirdest thing too.
Yeah. Because because it's obvious that Germany would have to spend its way through this recession as to not like set fire to the entire periphery of Europe.
Yes.
It's a fun path we're down. But the really funny thing of like the lists of like Germany's current problems is very funny because some of them are obvious. It's just like, okay, you don't have cheap gas from Russia anymore. You have expensive gas from Russia via India, apparently. But then and then the other ones are just like, oh, these were always problems. Because the other ones are just like, Germany's aging and it's running out of labor. Surprise. Climate change. That was another one. That was like...
Yep, that's not new.
That was another one. And it's just, it was very good reading that and then reading analysis of it that's just like, oh yeah, a huge consequence of this, or like, reason we're dealing with all these problems is the Merkel government just did nothing for 16 years. They didn't like spend anything. They didn't invest anything. Yeah. So now they've just like inherited this problem that was always, I don't know, going to happen. Now is a good time to talk about all of Germany's woes.
All at the same time.
At all the same time.
At the same damn time.
Because I have a reading series for us. There might be some other stuff we can talk about after the reading series. We'll see how quick, long it takes. So, this was published in Politico.eu, of course.
My favorite publication.
Greatest publication of all time. Did you see, by the way, that Gunther is pissing off Matthew Karnitschik?
My boys are fighting.
Yeah, they're fighting. It's amazing how easily, it's really bad when Gunther Fellinger can make you look like a nerd, because that is what he is doing to Matthew right now. Because Matthew...
Gunther's just 100%. I don't even know what's going on, but he's just sinking 3-pointers on Matthew Karnitschkin.
The reason he's pissed off Matthew is because Gunther is now anti-Israel. And Gunther is now learning about Palestine.
Yes.
Because he just learned that Israel has
relations with Russia.
Relatively good relations with Russia. Yeah. Which
I saw. Yeah. Did you screenshot this tweet? And I think I've seen him saying Israel. Send I don't know Wait, what was it?
Send weapons to
Ukraine or something.
Yeah,
Israel's been sending weapons to Ukraine.
Yeah, because this is the thing about why it's weird to get angry at Israel, because yes, they do have good relations with Russia. They also have very good relations with Ukraine.
Exactly.
Yeah. The only time I was ever hopeful for peace was
both countries had big
Well, the reason they do is because the white Jews need to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
Exactly. Israel wants to be nice to both of these people. But that was the only time I was hopeful for a peaceful resolution. It was when Israel offered to mediate talks. It was it's kind of fucked, but that is probably the only country both of them trust.
I think Turkey should mediate.
Again, probably the only country both of them trust.
Of course, yeah, but
it sucks
of course
so
not. I don't want Aaron to negotiate any kind of...
Yeah.
I doubt that that's going to be a good idea.
Somehow he ends up annexing all the Caucasus.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know how he did this.
It's mine now, and parts of Syria.
Yeah, Crimea is no longer Russian or Ukrainian. It's now a Khanate. Again. For the first time in thousands of years. Anyway.
Same with Odessa. It's not the Greeks.
No,
it's the Turks now.
It's Turkish now. Oh, God damn it. All right. So.
Erdogan dunk, just floating threes in.
The Black Sea is ours.
Again, 3-pointer.
Out of this peace deal, they somehow got Bulgaria.
Oh my God!
Another
Empire,
3.
The Ottoman, Osmanish is German.
Erdogan looking like Steph Curry now. Sorry,
we gave Ottoman in a horrible mistake, in a horrible NATO
fumble. The Ottoman Empire just got reunited.
Due to a mistake at the NATO factory, we gave Erdogan the pill from Limitless. All right. Anyway, from Politico.eu, great publication. The title of the article is Decline, Fear, and the AfD in Germany. Written by, I don't know if you guys have heard of this guy before. Let's see if I'm pronouncing this correctly. Matthias Döpfner.
Matthias
Döpfner? Is that what I said that right?
Matthias. Sorry.
You mean the dude who owns the paper?
Hang on. It says here what he does.
Yeah.
Matthias?
Yeah.
Matthias Döpfner is chairman and CEO of Axel Springer, Politico's parent company.
Yeah.
That's a fun piece of
Yeah, let me just scooch on over and write an op-ed in the thing that I own.
Yeah, I love to do that. I mean, sometimes you gotta show that you're still invested.
I'm not
I'm not just an owner.
He goes down to
I'm a journalist, just like you.
Yeah.
He goes down to the press pit, swings his hat backwards, the chair backwards, sits in it like AC Slater, and just like, I'm still one of you.
Exactly.
You know this was ghostwritten for him too.
Hello, fellow journalists.
All right.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Okay, it opens. In Germany today, the right-wing populist Alternative for Germany, AfD, is maintaining a stable 20% in opinion polls.
AKA my friends. Like, he is literally pals with like half the people in this party, probably.
Don't act so upset.
Yeah. Oh, I hate this. I'm kind of like pushing for this by like making all these publications as far right wing as I possibly can.
Yeah, I mean, a huge part of this is as kind of Nick is alluding to here is going to be the screenshot from I Think You Should Leave of we're all looking for the guy who did this. With Duffner in a big hot dog suit. Anyway.
Duffner in an essay suit.
We're all looking for the guy who did this. Legally, we do not know if Duffner was ever in an essay suit.
Oh. He came into the store dressed in all brown. Let's just say that.
Coming in 2 to 4 points ahead of the ruling centre-left Social Democratic Party and running hard on the heels of the centre-right Christian Democratic Union. In some federal states, the AfD is already the strongest party. In Thuringia, Thüringen for sane people, for example, it has reached 34%, meaning the party has 3 times as many supporters there are as the SPD. And in some administrative districts, around half of those eligible to vote are leaning toward the AfD. According to one Forza survey in June, the AfD is currently the strongest party in the east of Germany, a worrying trend with elections due this year in Bavaria and Hesse, and next year in Thuringia, Saxony, and Brandenburg. And of course, there are also the European Union elections in 2024. All right, now here's where we get Duffner puts on his little analysis hat. However, this rapid rise should come as no surprise. Mama spaghetti. The writing has been on the wall for a long time. And more than anything else, the party's recent advances are a result of an increasing sense among broad swaths of the population that they aren't being represented by traditional political and media elites. Who are these media elites?
As I sit there in my backwards chair with my backwards hat, yes.
with my team bowling jacket that says media elite on it. This disconnect was first accelerated by the refugee crisis of 2015, then increased during the pandemic and has since escalated in response to the increasing high-handedness of the woke movement and climate politics.
Oh, that's a dog whistle.
So things... The AfD is doing really well because all of you are too woke.
Yeah,
but he's not even right about that, though, because the AfD did horrible during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the AfD fell on their ass repeatedly because they couldn't figure out what to do. We've talked about this on the show that like the party was split on like,
exactly.
Do we do like national protection shit for the good Germans or do we like go anti-vaxxer? They fell apart.
Yeah.
Like, and the reason that they brought themselves back together is because. Like, yeah, it was he is right about the second part, I guess, that then Germany was like, oh, Matthias Döpfner, I'm going to click the culture war button and then just like hope that it works for my boys in the CDU and the FDP. Remember, Matthias Döpfner has been doing backroom meetings with Christian Lindner as he has been in government that are like illegal as fuck.
Yeah.
Like Christian Lindner should have been removed from power for having these connections with Matthias Döpfner, and Matthias Döpfner gave Christian Lindner's girlfriend a job at Welt. Like it is bonkers that then he can just sit there again in backwards hat, whatever, fucking, oh, hey, cool kids, it's me, your friendly neighborhood fellow redacteur over here. Fuck off, dude. Like you literally are pressing the buttons. He's literally
not
pressing
those media
the buttons.
elites I was complaining about earlier.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They might all belong to a certain religion that
He's
I'm not
right.
a part of.
He writes articles from the bottom.
Started from the bottom, now we're here. Yeah, but like
As
literally,
I overlook that part of Berlin that's dead after 3 p.m.
yeah, but it's just
I grinded for this view of Checkpoint Charlie.
yeah, I mean, it's genuinely insane to me that this guy's being like, how is this happening? While I'm like literally pressing the buttons that makes the AfD stronger.
Well, you see, the problem is he pressed the button that was like make make FDP and CDU stronger, and now he's kind of annoyed that
it didn't work.
It's made the AFD stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so he proves that everyone is becoming racist because of the woke movement and climate politics.
And him.
Um,
Literally single-handedly him half the time.
No, he proves it because he links to this survey that says 69% of the German public do not believe the government is doing a good job, which is an all-time high. Fun fact that I learned recently, the only two countries at the moment of countries surveyed that believe in their government is the Netherlands and China.
China.
and the Netherlands. It's very pretty there.
Big things are happening in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
Socialism with Dutch characteristics.
We made a new
some Protestant socialism gotta be.
We made a new, more Protestant TikTok. Meanwhile, opinion polls show the government fares particularly badly in Germany's east. A rising number of people, including the otherwise stable but also staid middle class, now feel enough is enough, and no other party is as good as exploiting this feeling as the AfD. The problem is, the AfD isn't a normal democratic party. The regional offices of Germany's domestic intelligence have marked them as organizations of interest. Sure, you guys talked about this 2 weeks ago. You can go listen to that episode. It's kind of interesting. He gives some examples of why they're bad. These concerns about the party's commitment to the Constitution aren't unjustified. In a 2018 speech at the National Conference, the party's youth section, Young Alternative, former AfD chairman Alexander Gauland said that Hitler and the Nazis are just a speck of bird shit in 1,000 years of successful German history.
That famous quote.
That great quote about correctly guessing the age of Germany. A country,
such an old country back then, you know. Like,
I mean, most of the history of the west of Germany is just like, why are these French people speaking wrong? When speaking about the Holocaust Memorial in Berlin, Björn Höcke, group chairman of the AfD in Thuringia, Thuringia sounds like a reason why you make your man wear a condom. Like, it's not like a real place name.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, but like there's a really bad bout of Thuringia going around. Where was I? Anyway, he said in 2017, we Germans, and I am not talking about you patriots who have gathered here today, we Germans, our people, are the only people in the world to place a monument of shame in the heart of our capital. Probably not true. In the speech of the Bundestag in 2018, party boss Alice Weidel bandied about terms like headscarf girls and knife-wielding men, while her co-chairman Tino Trupla? Okay.
I'm sorry, what media does he own again?
I don't know, some tiny mom-and-pop media company.
What is every bid headline, if not literally every talking point that he's talking about?
Yeah.
Knife wielding.
Yeah, come on.
Exactly.
You're not talking about the AfD. You're talking about last week's headlines from my paper.
Exactly. Last week,
I hate him so
headlines would exactly use these words: knife wielding migrants and headscarf girls.
He does bring up the co-chairman Tino Trupala using a word that I've never encountered before, a German word. And I'm wondering if you guys have encountered it. Umvolkung.
Yes.
Yeah.
A great replacement.
Yeah, basically, I was like, oh wow, that's a really.
That's basically
That's a trivia question. Do you know Germany has the shortest word for great replacement
exactly.
theory?
It's called Umvolkung.
For anyone, is that basically like unpeopling?
No, it's like changing of peoples.
Yeah.
Okay. Umziehen, you're moving. Umvolkung is like
a
changing
new
of,
people are going to take over, basically.
It's translated here as ethnicity inversion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure, yeah, whatever.
But yeah,
that's basically what we said.
That is great replacement theory.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I love that.
Again, what I don't know what publication he writes for that totally doesn't push any of these things at all.
He pushes the same fucking narrative in all of it.
It's so weird that the head of Tats is saying this. All right, so skipping ahead. While many vote for the AfD out of protest more than anything else, the party feeds off resentment and fear, exploiting and fueling anger, hate, and envy, pushing conspiracy theories to hit out at those at the top, quote unquote. Not me, as well as foreigners, Jews, the LGBTQ+ community, or just about anyone who might be deemed different. And the party leader's blatant admiration for Russian President Vladimir Putin exposes their reverence for autocracy.
That's not really entirely true. The AfD split on
They're split on
Russia.
that. The West AfD is not. They have it's kind of interesting because the West AfD has the narrative of, no, we gotta hate the Russians because what they did to Germany. Kind of
the German genocide, as they call it.
Yeah, the German genocide of like Deutsche,
Sure.
Ostpreußen,
the moving people out
the
of
moving
Poland,
people, etc. So that is the Westdeutsche AfD. The Ostdeutsche AfD, though, they love Putin.
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah, so there's like there were like some leaked chats about that where they are having a fight in their inner like AfD chat group and shit like that. It's very
Also-
interesting. It's amazing to see what both sides have to say.
Also, really surprised that, Matthias Döpfner, again, the guy who, I guess, owns these teeny tiny papers,
Yep.
is now concerned about LGBT rights, this thing that then, his small papers never complain about.
Yeah.
And never want to, really
thing,
openly want to just, reverse.
And saying the strategy of fear, that is exactly the strategy that Bild is using.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And then the
I'm sorry, whenever I see someone buy, a Bild Zeitung, I think that there's just, something wrong with them.
that's fair. I think
They're
there's
the
also
most read newspaper in Germany.
In all of Europe.
In all of Europe. Yeah.
fun. I mean, yeah, because it's just Germany's the largest country.
Yeah.
So whatever's the most successful
Yeah,
paper here is going to make, Then the thing that I find very kind of the little slip of the hand here, though, is the kind of idea that AfD is the only party with pro-Putin people within it.
Yeah.
Because while the CDU is very good at stepping in line, I'm not the cozy relationship Germany had with Putin's Russia for the longest time was facilitated by the CDU.
Yes, definitely.
And Schröder. And the SPD.
Esper Schröder und SPD in one.
Yeah.
Esper.
So this idea that he is against the AfD for this reason when he's very him and his paper have always rooted for a party that has also had cozy ties with. Yeah, it's a weird one.
Germany's history in general has close ties to Russia. One way or another.
I think Maloney's kind of version of geopolitics is the future for these parties. So yeah. Anyway. Failure to prevent the AfD's rise could potentially first corrode, then shatter democracy and rule of law in Germany. But how can a party like this, which is getting stronger than polls, be dealt with? Is a ban the right way to go? They are always difficult to deal with, and it isn't even an option at this stage. What about joining the AfD to form a coalition and temper the party?
What?
Oh, hell yeah.
Did he just suggest that?
He's literally...
He would probably do that.
He wants that.
He's probably in the end announcing that he would join the AfD.
Yeah. And this is why I'm going to do AfD entryism, because I actually, everything that they do, I think is actually kind of sick.
From the inside, yeah.
Well, Duffner's Trotskyist turn was kind of unexpected here.
I knew it.
I think, okay, so it's bad writing, but I think what he's talking about is parties join the AfD in a coalition, not entryism.
Yeah, ew.
But it does sound like he's talking about entryism.
Yeah.
No, because this is the thing is that I
mean, it worked with the Greens. You join a party with a coalition with the Greens, you just...
Get rid of all the
They're
radical
not
elements.
very green anymore.
I'm not gonna dwell on this too much because he is just throwing the suggestion out there to dismiss it.
Okay.
That is even more difficult, as it is unreasonable to argue that the AfD should be treated like other parties. The Nazis and Adolf Hitler had also been democratically elected when they seized power in 1933. Okay, so what options remain? Many politicians and journalists say we need to confront the AfD with critical arguments. Sounds good on the face of it, but people...
It's going to make my job really hard because everything that they stand for I kind of low-key agree with.
I'm more about peddling very stupid arguments that no one is having.
How do I make AfD arguments in really big font that sounds like a person's yelling them at you, rather than in the sense of being just yelled at
We
them in the
also need
Bundestag?
more pictures, less text, more pictures.
More pictures, less text, and then Araberschlag or whatever.
I can't believe
you know?
I can't believe Nick got to meet the local celebrity in Dresden, the guy who writes the Bild headlines.
Pretty much, yeah. Like that
Germans
is
are not stupid.
Not vaccinated.
Yeah. I mean, come on, for fuck's sake. Like, in all seriousness as well, too, it's just the sense of, like, your party has literally your paper has been literally, the headline of Bild today was Clans überall. That then, like, clans, like, Arab mafia family things, which is, like, not really actually a thing. You know, like there's not like the data that shows that there's all this like clan criminal bullshit thing is like not really, doesn't really hold up.
Yeah.
And the headline of Bild today was Clans überall, so clans everywhere. That like that this like criminality is a huge problem in Germany. It fucking isn't. It really isn't. And in all reality, it's like something that is simply just there so that then this little fucking asshole can sell more papers and then thinks that he's going to peddle the CDU to become the party that's going to like win over AFD voters. That's never going to happen because the people who are voting for the AFD have then previously probably voted CDU or voted for another party, and they see any party that then currently exists within the government that then is not the AFD as culpable, as like collaboratist and shit like that of all the bad shit that's going on. So you're not going to win over any hearts by becoming more racist. And that's what he, like, at the end of the day, regardless of what he says, is that he just does that. He just gives the AFD more fuel through the CDU because he's BFS with the CDU and the AFD.
Well, since he is saying we can't talk to them, I hope he just suggests violence.
That's
is this turning dark?
Yeah, the rest of this just says cut down the tall trees. It's very strange. Anyway. Okay, this is another one. The fears that have allowed the AFD to become as big as it is today are clearly identifiable. When a recent survey by Infratest DIMAP asked what topics most influence your decision to vote for the AFD at the moment, 65% said immigration, after I blasted them with a million Bild headlines, 47% said energy politics, and 43% named the economy. So, yeah. And in their handling of all three of these issues, the older parties have demonstrated moral cowardice and a lack of honesty. This is especially apparent when it comes to immigration. So yes, Nick is right.
Here we go. Yeah.
The solution is kind of just more racism.
Yes.
So he basically So I'm gonna summarize some of the shit that he says here because it's kind of boring, but I'm gonna get to it. But like, he basically says that no German party is willing to admit the truth that immigration is bad, but Germany needs it because we're all dying. Is basically the argument he's saying, right? He's going for he's basically arguing for the mythical Australian points system immigration. The thing that doesn't really exist except for in the minds of conservatives who don't live in Australia.
Yes.
Because he's like, we need 1 to 1.5 skilled individuals per year from abroad.
This is literally the FDP's point that they've been bringing up of why they're trying to change the reason why the citizenship thing finally has gotten changed is because you had Nancy Fraser there being like, oh, we need immigration, but only the good ones. And it's like,
I mean, that's a whole one of the points of the Deutschland Pact kind of thing.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
Like regulated immigration and
I mean, it's so the thing is, Germany does need labor. And it does need to be more chill to immigrants in general. Yes. The thing that gets omitted from all these discussions is maybe change Germany's education system so it's not dependent on the racist classist version of the Harry Potter sorting hat that you encounter when you're 12. 10, sorry. Jesus.
Sorry. At least when I went to school. They put a hat on me. I just yelled one of the schools.
Because there's a lot of shit in this country that just will immediately put you into the bucket of oh, you have to go into a trade, which is not terrible, but then there's also just oh, you don't speak German well enough, off to the pits or whatever. Here's
off to become fodder for the bagger or whatever.
Yeah. We need to feed this machine.
Oh my god.
With school children.
Get in the Ava. We made Lindner do it.
Germans.
This means the social welfare benefits for immigrants require critical rethinking, with the goal of creating a situation where every immigrant would be able to work and have to actually start working immediately. Then add to this factors that are a matter of course in countries with a successful history of integration, learning the local language and respecting the constitution and the laws, and anyone who doesn't must leave fast. So this is my last episode of Corner Späti. I haven't learned German. I do not respect this country's constitution. So I'm on a plane out of here.
I love it. It's the funniest thing too that he ends like, I don't know if this is the end of the article, but it's just at least his end. Yeah. The end of his like thing about like immigration is like, oh yeah, like, you know, all this stuff that the AfD like, you know, doesn't want this and that and that. By the way, I want to reintroduce blood laws into Germany. And if you don't agree with me and all my boys in literally this country that I like low key run as like a shadow manipulative little fuck, then you can leave.
Well, the other issue with this is
this is the most powerful man in Germany, by the way.
Yes, yeah. So one of the things that's a problem here is that like we need to. So he's not going on about blood laws quite yet, or at least not talking about that openly. He is talking about like, okay, integration, learn the language. We have to let people in, blah blah blah, and like, yeah, it's very strange. But this does highlight a point that is a problem with trying to like win this like debate on like immigration, which is most Germans, native Germans, do not know what immigration is like. They have zero idea what immigrating to this country is like. And neither does Matthias Döpfner, because he's talking about like, oh, they shouldn't be allowed to claim social welfare benefits. You cannot claim...
That's not going to happen. That's not...
Yeah, it's
happening.
not a thing.
Yeah.
It's not a thing that does happen. It's not a thing that can legally happen.
Exactly. Yeah.
You have to be working in Germany for, I believe, 14 months before you can get any out of work benefits.
Yeah. It's even when you like had even for citizens, you know, when you had a job and it was not for long enough, you don't get the good the good unemployment. You get the shit unemployment.
Oh, geez, yeah.
If you don't work in a company for long enough, you don't get the good benefits. You get the shitty benefits.
Yeah, because and this kind of leads to the heart of the problem of just like you do not know what people mean when they say, "Oh, I'm concerned about immigration," because I can guarantee you, for a lot of German people, they saw a black person once and was like immigrants, rather than like that was probably a guy whose like parents were born here, German citizen. You've just kind of decided it was immigration. Like these people just do not know what's happening.
No, they don't at all.
You can introduce stringent laws, but the next day, that same fucker is going to see another person of color and be like, immigration, they still haven't fixed it yet.
I've heard people just referring to anyone who looks like Turkish or Arabic in
their
mind as Ausländer. Yeah. Even though these kids were born here.
Yes, that is the like most kind of like fucked thing you encounter with this language.
Yes.
Is that like it's really common to refer to anyone
who has
who's not white.
Yeah, who's
basically.
not white. Yeah.
Yeah. Regardless of like how German those fuckers are. All right. So we're getting to the end of this article. It's pretty stupid. It's a lot of like.
It is so long.
Yeah, it is very long. He went off because here's the other thing: are you going to be this man's editor? He owns the company you work for.
True.
Yeah. Oh god.
There's no editing this article.
You're like, no, we keep it all in. I don't want to lose my job.
This is the 4th Harry Potter book. You're not editing any of this shit. Okay, so there's other things. He talks about the fact, like he brings up the whole thing of like China does the most global like carbon emissions. They should be the ones.
That's
to
not
like,
true.
I mean, it's not true, and it's also like the worst way, like because they do that because they have high global like carbon emissions, but it's because they make all the shit for us.
Yeah, but like per capita carbon emission, there's like
it's very low. Yeah. There's a lot of Chinese people, but like he brings this up to say like Germans shouldn't have to pay for like green things. Because they all know
all
it's
I'm
China's
getting
fault.
at the end of the day is I should vote for the AfD.
Yeah, this is a funny thing because he says, "Oh, these are the reasons why people are turning to the AfD," and then his solution is basically making a point for the AfD in the end, even though he doesn't want to like look like and said, "Oh, I'm a moderate conservative" or some shit like that.
I'm a moderate brown shirt.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I'm a Strauss right, okay, guys.
Like his third and quote unquote final point about like why people are voting and what needs and why it needs to be fixed is like that people are getting poorer and like companies are leaving. At no point does he bring up the
Well, good that we have the Deutschland Pact now.
Yeah, we have the
companies are not going to leave anymore.
Olaf Scholz is evil now, and he's got a gun.
Exactly.
You're not
leaving. You start a startup right now.
No, Germany doesn't need any more startups. Please
but
stop
that is
it.
exactly what is in there.
This country will never learn, will they?
No, absolutely not. Yeah, because like
you are like literally one of the industrial capitals of Europe. Just invest in that. Stop.
As I said, industrial purchases in July.
I don't know, guys.
Lower than expected.
I read Build recently, and it told me investing in things is gay, so I can't do that anymore.
God damn it!
Damn you, Matthias Tuffner. Yeah, but like, okay,
he can't keep getting away with it.
Oh, but he can. So, like, without even mentioning once, I think probably the most glaring example of this, and like the politics that he has and the ideology he has that stops him from mentioning any of this, he does not once mention the American IRA, the Inflation Reduction Act, the thing that's actually yanking companies out of Europe and like into America.
The American IRA.
The American IRA.
I thought for a second.
I know.
I'm sorry.
Like, I read the Financial Times and they just keep saying IRA without any explanation.
Karen is just like, what?
They shouldn't be allowed to do that.
Right.
They should have to say Inflation Reduction Act every time. So yeah, like, and this is kind of like, and he says that like, oh, Germans are becoming poor, blah blah blah, and that's why they're pissed, and that's like probably true.
Yeah.
But it's.
But his solutions are kind of weird.
Oh yeah, they suck.
Yeah.
It's actually for that one he doesn't really have a solution.
For people being poor.
He just says that like
I don't know how this
some are born
happens.
rich,
He's like some.
Have you tried starting a media monopoly?
Exactly. Have you tried? Yeah, exactly.
Have you tried buying every paper that you see?
Just ask your dad for money. Oh, your mom. I don't care.
I always young kids come up to me and say, "Dear Stuffner, how do you become so successful?" I tell them what I was told when I was young: buy half of all the papers in Poland.
Exactly.
Just do that. It's walking around money. What's the zloty euro conversion rate? Who knows? Anyway, yeah, he doesn't really have a solution for that. He just thinks that like German politicians should acknowledge that people are poor, like the AFD does, I guess. Anyway. He ends with, traditional politicians and political parties unable to offer change are thus on very shaky ground. They have disconnected themselves from their voters, and they are paving the way for populists who use bogeymen tactics and offer simplistic solutions that solve nothing. And that's why...
Sincerely yours.
Sincerely.
Matthias.
Sincerely. From the office of Matthias Duffner. So yeah, that was a wild ride. I missed my stop on the S-Bahn over here because I was reading that.
Yeah, rightfully so.
Yeah. You shouldn't be allowed to do that if you own the company.
Right. I kind of was thinking I might buy a newspaper and just write all of my thoughts that I have. They gotta publish it, no?
Yeah, I'm buying Tats and just renaming it to Yulia.
Yeah, exactly. Gotta do what the Washington Post said, like why we need billionaires. Why billionaires are actually good for the poor people, for everyone.
We should have a giant Wheel of Fortune wheel in the Bundestag with everyone in Germany's name on it, and you spin it and they own the paper. For like 1 year and then spin again.
I want one. Yeah, I take over Tats, call it Julia, and there's gotta be changes.
Instead of the footprint, it's just like your face. Hey.
Thumbs up.
Here's what I think this week.
I will use very, very big headlines, but also very long articles. Mixing the best out of both worlds.
Lots of really great political analysis, but then on like page 4 or something, it's like, is Olaf Scholz anti-hoop earring?
Yes.
We gather a panel of experts.
Is Heiko Maas the swag king of Germany?
Yes.
What's his thoughts on hoop earrings? I have an exclusive interview.
Oh my god! And a fashion series with photos. Like you get little on the weekend, you get little magazines with it. You know.
I think only with your weekly Maas.
Yeah, your weekly Maas. It's Maas and cool outfits. What to wear this winter?
Heiko Maas has been like, I was really skeptical of the giant Wheel of Fortune program until Yulia took over one of the papers, and I just get to be a fashion Reichenhof for a year. It's so good now. I actually hate this politics stuff. I just want to.
This politics shit crazy.
This politics shit crazy. Yeah, actually, I think that would probably just like mend a lot of the psyches of this country if just like every paper just became one random German's weird hobbyist outlet. Because just like, yeah, Bild would get taken over by a guy who's really into model trains.
Oh,
100%. Yeah.
I mean, that's still gonna be the most popular newspaper in Europe then.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, just like
who doesn't love model trains?
The big headline is the new Eurostar set too expensive?
Oh my god! And their little like local papers, like the BZ is gonna be about like the S-Bahn and the U-Bahn, and oh my, I love it.
Yeah, he gets the whole company. It's all Springer. Politico.eu is a very, very neoconservative, but a bit of a classier look at train models. Like, oh yeah, I love this new train set, but does it really think invading Iraq was a bad idea?
I can't wait for like the random European guy that then's really into like World of Tanks who goes Build the next year.
Yeah, absolutely. Or
Chaos reigns supreme.
Or he gets like fats or something.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
The AFD gets voted in at like 94%.
Like that really classy serif font they use for like Frankfurter, and it like, and then it's just like the specs of various tanks that you can play on the free-to-play game World of Tanks.
Oh god, those magazines do exist in Germany, which is even like the worst thing.
Yeah, but I think we should just have a cleanse as a nation of just like no serious topics. Everyone just kind of talk about their bullshit that they're into for like a year. And then we'll return to this. We'll return to whatever this is.
Yeah.
Jeremy Fragrance gets a paper.
Oh my, hell yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's when everyone starts to think that the wheel is fixed. Everyone's just like, his legal name shows up on the wheel and they're like, who?
Who's that?
Daniel Straczynski or whatever the hell
believe
his
so,
name
yes.
is.
Yeah.
I'm a real, you know, I'm a lieutenant in the fragrance army.
Drafted into the fragrance army. Oh yeah, because then it would just be like Heiko Maas, what are you wearing? Like he'd just be doing the scent review of various. Like,
yeah, exactly. Well, on that note, we will, see you guys in the near future where we all own our own media outlets.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, if you haven't learned anything today,
subscribe to Julia. It's great.
Subscribe to Julia, and also if you have
it's very expensive.
If you have a cool 400 million euros lying around, buy your own media empire.
Yeah, just do that, and then write whatever you want.
Yeah,
about whatever, because apparently owning media outlets allows you the free time to write a spiel.
Why billionaires are actually good for all of us.
Let's see, announcements before we go. 14th of October, I believe at 6 o'clock. Don't quote me on that. We are doing Podfest again. We're doing a live show. It'll be really fun. You should come out. Tickets should be on sale by the time you're listening to this. And yeah. And I sent a bunch of emails to the city of Cologne and Hamburg to try and have live shows there.
Sick.
You sent it to the city of Cologne and Hamburg. You were like, so.
Dear Mr. Olaf Scholz replacement.
Dear Mr. Köln.
Dear Mr. Köln.
This is Berlin.
Dear Mayor McCheese, I'm assuming you're the mayor of Hamburg.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.